Alright guys, sorry I haven't been making videos for a while. I've just been laden down with all kind of projects. Uh, my man cave uh, doubles as a storage room for some decorations and such. So I got to really get organized. I'll show you just how disorganized it is now. But across the other end of uh, one of my working spaces, I've got this big alcove that is unused space. So basically what my idea is, they put the HVAC line across here. Never planned on this being a a usable structure, I guess, but it has been floored and it's just raw 2x4 wall and sheeting. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put me a couple of shelves up this wall to utilize this space, and we're going to build a shelf over top of this to protect this HVAC line. Appears that when they built this house, they meant for the HVAC to go there, but left the hole and moved it all the way over here. They had cut a piece of wood and just had that sitting under there, so you couldn't really tell it, kind of blended in. But anyways, I went into local factory Home Depot, grabbed me a dozen 2x4s and a couple of sheets of OBS sheeting. Had them ripped in half there, so gonna use a couple of some pocket hole screws and some deck screws, and just some regular 2-inch drywall screws, probably, for just because I happen to have buckets of screws. We're gonna do, so far we've got about, I don't know, we may have $70, $80, $100 into it, but first thing I did is I laid me out a footer. This is going to be, because I don't know if anybody knows that floors are never level, but I want the legs of my shelf to be pretty even, and we're going to lay 8-foot 2x4s all the way up as high as we can, about 24 inches apart. Come in and put cleats, box it out, and then lay plywood sheeting on it. That should give me a lot of space that is just unused. If I like it, I may go to the window section next and box that in. Thinking about doing a couple of drop down shelves that fold in and out, just to store some stuff, just to kind of really maximize this space of unused space that just gets on my nerves because I have so much clutter up here. Next thing we got to do is cut the 2x4s. Like I said, I bought them 8 foot long just so there wouldn't be so much waste, and we're just going to go up all the way up this wall as far as we can, and then we'll make the shelving easy peasy. Should give us about the right height for storing a bunch of totes. Alright, well, over here at the miter saw, to make my job a little easier, I'm just going to cut me a block. My shelves are going to be about 20 inches. I'm going to cut me one 20-inch spacer block, because I'm going to be doing this by myself. I can put that in on one side, screw the 2x4 in, and then go to the other side, level it up with a level, and then we should be good. I know this may be a little hard to see. There's my spacer block. Put a screw in there, hold it up. I can put my level up here, bring everything up to where I want it level, and then just shoot my other screw in. And now, sorry for the terrible lighting. That's one thing. Other thing we're going to address once we get these shelves and stuff put up is we're going to put some more lighting up here. But that way I can level up this by myself. Alright, second board up. See, the little spacer works out pretty good. We'll measure and see what we're going to get off the top of that. We might have a little bitty small space on top. It'll give us a couple of shelves. Alright, so basically what we did is we got us a footer, we got us our shelf spacing, had to kind of go in and do a little bracing the way those are angle cut, make sure everything was squared up and sturdy. And now we're going to cut some 21-inch cleats because we're going to make the shelves exactly 24 inches wide, because we ripped our OSB board right in half and give us 2-foot shelves. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take and make us a bunch of cleats. I want to overbuild this because I'll probably put a lot of weight of different stuff, a lot of Halloween decorations and such. So I'm probably going to put a cleat about every other stud, if not every stud on here, especially the ones on the bottom, because I do not want to damage my HVAC return. Alright, we did take, if you can see that, we just made us some pocket holes, used the pocket hole screws, took a level, made sure we was level, and we'll go from there. It should give us, 3 shelves to stack up some stuff on, and we still have a little bit of a open corner here, but we may do something a little different with that. Who knows? Alright. Alright guys, you could probably see what I'm doing now. Make a little bit more sense. I just put my cleats up, run an 8-foot 2x4 across the front, put a little small brace up there. Typically what we'd do is you would build, stack these on top of each other and then bring out your 2-foot. Being since I'm being on a pitch and I'm going to have to be changing, it's going to be kind of hard to put them together and then pull everything out this way. So we're going to stick build them one at a time. And I got my footer there. Just got to cut a box off spot over there and then lay a sheet of plywood on there. Then once I get the next 2 done, then I'll run a couple of vertical supports from about like where that one is all the way up to the top, to the outside of the shelf. We'll go from there. To make my life easier from going up and down the stairs, I just cut a bunch of cleats, get me some 18-inch braces to put around the sides so until we put our uprights in. And then I got my other board to go on the other side. We'll throw them in and then we should be ready for our second shelf. I figured I'd go ahead and cut a whole bunch of cleats at one time, get them up, save my up and down the stairs trips. Once you get going this far, it goes pretty quick. I just took some little 1x pieces that I had, some scrap stuff, and just made me some braces because I'll go back through there and run a solid 2x4 from the floor all the way up to the top shelf. But right now, that'll hold everything from moving while I'm setting my other shelves. More to go. Alright, now that we've got all our shelves in, I'm looking a little sideways, so it does look like it's off kilter, but it's square, level. Gonna put in 2x4s for supports for uprights. We'll take out all those little braces I put just to hold everything in place while I was laying other shelves, because I couldn't very well put the plywood in one single sheet of one single piece if I had all those braces in there. So we laid the plywood down. Now we'll do the bracing. Alright, here's the finished product. We got us a couple of shelves to store stuff. I may or may not close the front of that off. Who knows? The biggest thing is I want to keep stuff from getting in that HVAC line and give me use of that storage space. All in all, I'd say I got about $80 in it when you count the 2x4s, screws. I got about $100 in all of it when you count the screws. I didn't really count them because I already had some from other projects, but those decking screws ain't cheap. But we did use 2.5-inch deck screws from all my 2x4 work. I used 1.25-inch drywall screws just to attach the plywood down, and then for the pocket holes I used 2.5-inch pocket hole screws. Now I'm just gonna load her up.